Have you ever been in this situation when you just want to do what you like, but people judge you for it? Is it fair? And that is stigma. Society will set some expectations about how a person should act. Hence, anytime a person doesn't fit into their culture or society's predefined roles, they can face discrimination and disapproval from the society. In other meaning, stigma is a cultural and societal phenomenon. That being said, stigma can vary in many perspectives, such as mental health stigma, specialist stigma, and there is even also substance use stigma that are secretly hidden and attached to our heart. And now, it's time to break the stigma and make the world equally accelerating to others.
So now let's get into it. What is special needs stigma? Special needs stigma is when people view someone with disabilities lesser than a normal functioning person, and this is not new. They are often related as cursed, diseases, and helpless. Most of people dealing with these disabilities has faced prejudice and discrimination in many aspects of their life, such as healthcare, employment, and even education. Hence, we should eliminate barriers and uphold their dignity as a person.
One of the stigmas that surround special needs is social avoidance. People with special needs are often left out from social events and public spaces. And that is what I've been faced by Yasmin for years.
Hi, I am Yasmin. I am 16 years old, a school student. I am a thalassemia patient. To be honest, school isn't as exciting as my other peers. I don't have friends. People often feel disgust whenever they look at me. I can tell by how they stare and talk behind me. I am used to people labeling me as dirty, disgusting, and an embarrassment. So, can you tell me how am I supposed to enjoy my teenage life?
Moreover, people with special needs are more open to hate crimes and violence. People with special needs are more likely to be targeted in hate crimes such as pickpocket, burglary, and robbery. It's vital to note that people with special needs are more likely to be a victim of physical and sexual violence, more than people without disabilities, in view of them being helpless and weak.
So, what can we do to prevent the stigma from happening? Let's hear Shafiq share with us his experience.
Hi, my name is Shafiq Aiman. I am 24 years old. I might look like a typical student, but actually I am an OKU card holder. I have this condition where one of my feet outgrow the other. The hardest things that I deal while having this condition is that it is hard to find shoes at branded shops and street shops. I hope that media or teachers around the world, even parents, educate children about being respectful to people that deal with disabilities because no one is ever perfect.
Most importantly, think before you speak. You should avoid using labels and use people first language PFL to talk to them nicely.
To sum it up, words and actions play a big role in creating belief, influencing feelings, and can impact people's daily life. Using respectful and kind remarks can show people with disabilities that they are part of community and have a role that is equal to everyone else.
Can you ask a person with a broken bone to just ignore their pain? Have you heard people tell a cancer patient that they are just faking it? Would you dare asking a person on a wheelchair to just stand up? Never, right? And it should be the same for any others visible or invisible sickness and disabilities. This applies to people with mental health problems because what they really need is us.
One of the stigmas surrounding around mental health is by how the public view them, and that's what we call as public stigma. So now, let's hear from Mrs. Husna, who had been through postpartum depression and what people say to her.
Hi, I'm Husna. I'm 29 and I'm a mother of three. Cesarean delivery is an odd thing in my family and I was badly judged for having it. One of the grannies told me that the baby wasn't ready yet to be born, but I forced her out and the delivery. I was also labeled as a fat mother for not losing weight right after the birth. And one of the worst comments that I had was from my own closest family member, saying that the pain that I had is nothing compared to a normal delivery mother, as if I'm not a normal mother. I'm experiencing a lot of physical changes, a lot of hormonal changes in my body, and I have to bear with those words as well.
In addition, Self-stigma is also closely related to people with mental health issues. Self-stigma is when people with mental health issues think that they are worthless and doesn't deserve any sort of helps. They think that they will be judged for receiving helps and afraid that people around them won't be supportive and understanding. Most of the times, they don't want to be seen as weak and incapable. This type of stigma can result them into delay seeking help or never seeking help at all. In the worst case scenario, there are many people who give up their life due to losing hope and think that they are better off die.
So, the main question is, how can we as a society help them and end the stigma around mental health? We can do so by educating ourselves. Can we stop depression with a blink of an eye and answer these questions by talking with a friend, a doctor, and by doing research about it? We should try to put ourselves in their shoes. We can also lend our ears and give them support emotionally and physically by being there with them when they are at their worst. Instead of trying to fix them, we should listen and be empathetic enough with what they are going through. Lastly, we should share awareness and advocate about it. Share what you've learned. It may not take much of a difference, but at least it can change 1 or even 2 minds and break the stigma that's haunting them.
Ultimately, stigma is a real phenomenon that's happening in various ways by society who harshly judges people for being different.
Stigma can affect someone's health, relationship, and in many aspects of their life. It may lead them to think being alive is difficult and exhausting.
So, it is a need for us to keep pursuing and spread as many awareness that we can to make more visible changes.
As a conclusion, we should do the best that we can so that people who are dealing with stigma feels accepted and supported by people around them.
Let us all break the stigma together.